Hey guys, sorry about that. I am back. Might as well just um, stay on the. I want to put up the hourly charts here. We can see here what the market's gonna do here. A key resistance of 44.92 there. So we only got less than a minute left here. Curious if we come in line or we miss it, or obviously if it becomes lower than like say 2 point in the 2.9, 2.8, man, you should get a nice move higher in the market. All right, we have less than 10 seconds now. You can already see the volatility in the candle moving. So we broke that resistance. All right, there we go. We're breaking that resistance. So the year over year number came in at 3% year over year. Consensus was 3.1, so it beat. Let's see, core inflation, they expected it to be 5. It came in at 4.8. It beat. So you can see we're coming up to a supply zone. Curious what that's going to do. You can see these numbers here. So a beat, a beat, a beat, a beat all across the board. Go back to the charts. Let's see how much this can propel the market. Ten-year yield is down to 3.9, almost down 2%. Coming into the supply here. It's getting a little bit of a wick here, a little bit of a selling. Morning, Chief. All right. All beats across the board. Market moving higher. No surprise there. Leaders on the board. Baba up 0.284%. Tesla up 2.5%. Meta's up 1.58%. Snell's up 1.42. So market's moving higher, but we're in supply. So let's see if we can what we can do here. can also take a look at the NASDAQ, what that's doing. Now NASDAQ has this downtrend line here that I drew here. So that's been honored. So you can see we've breached it now in the NASDAQ. I can take this Fibonacci off. That's 100% retracement of that move. In the NASDAQ, we're in supply in the NASDAQ, we're in supply in the ES. Doesn't mean you just sell off here. It just means that we're in supply. So in this trend line. So we're at a key area for both markets right now. You want to see here if this market gets followed through here. Because now look, what did we do, right? Anybody who is short here, obviously you're in the stock, you can't really do much. Well, you can because you're in pre-market hours. You can get out of your positions. Futures, you can get out of your positions, obviously. So anybody who's short in here just had to cover. Now we got some single prints forming now, obviously. So we're going to go up now. Now in the SPY, 444 was the key resistance level. Very key. We are above that now by almost $1.50, $1.60. So that's pretty significant. That will be probably, if we pull back there, just like this 44.92 level in futures. You can see my little window here of NASDAQ. It hasn't been able to take out this high here. So we have to see. We're kind of slowing down the volatility a little bit now. Alright, what I'm going to do now, let's just look at the daily charts, see where we're at. Just so we can see where we're at currently. Alright, let's just look at those because that candle's starting to move higher right now. We can certainly turn on the extended hours right here. So you can see right here that big resistance level that's here. Big resistance level. We're finally getting the extension. I've been talking about that. It's been have a bullish imbalance here, and this profile had looked very incomplete, and now we're getting that extension of the profile. Okay, you can see right here, big move in the SPY. Okay, there's that resistance level right here. You can see it's been resistant many times, and now it's broken out. We are in supply, right? So that's the SPY. Let's look at the Qs. So the Qs, notice this, right? Qs are at that resistance of 372 again. It was here, it was here, here, and now we're back here again. So the Qs right now have not been able to break out of that resistance level. Okay? You can see it very clearly right here. Tried to get above it, couldn't, right? Right here. Tried to touch that again, sold off, right? And now we're making a move down from here, right? If we zoom in here, this is that move right now. So boom, we went right to it. This is really a test for the market right now. In the Qs, really a test here. Because if we zoom out, the 372, we know this level is a huge level. I mean, if you just look at the this is the weeklies. I mean, we can go right in there and just look, boom, boom, and now we're there again. So it's really the time for the market to prove, and just to remind you guys, look at the monthlies. 1 month resistance, 2 months resistance, 3 months resistance, right? Then we came up last month, tagged it, and now we're here again. Big level in the Nasdaq. Can't state that enough, how big the Nasdaq's move is. Okay, now you can see, we zoom in here, you're getting some wick here. Okay, remember also, top 7 stocks in the Nasdaq are going to get rebalanced. They're getting rebalanced. Okay, it's going to take weighting from the Nasdaq, from those top stocks. Keep that in mind. Let's look at the Dow, what that is doing. Okay, so the Dow does have a resistance level right here as well. 344, right there, that's where it's at. Okay, that's been a key level. You can see here in these orange lines, that just shows me weekly highs and lows. So this means it was last week's highs and lows. This means it was the previous week's highs and lows. Okay, on this chart, right? I don't have to go to the weekly chart because I already see that here. But if we just go to the weeklies, right? There you go. We're in a range in the Dow, right? So that's why I love having those lines on the chart. I can see, and here's the monthlies. The white is the monthlies. Okay, that was last month's high. So we're getting some selling a little bit here. Let's look at the Qs. Qs are pulling back now. Okay, Qs are pulling back. So this level is very key, 372. All right, let's take a look at that SPY. SPY's, we're in supply right now, and SPY made the breakout. So SPY broke out at this key level. Okay, beautiful. Using this line again, right? This telling me it's last month's highs. The white line is last month's and last week's highs. Okay, so if we just go to here, it's telling me on that one chart that the highs of last month, right? So we're above last month's highs right now. So this is the area right here. What is that? 444. If we get a pullback there, that is the time to, do we go back under here or do we hold it and that's the next leg higher? That's really the key. That's really the key. So see, they're still getting that, hasn't broken out in the Nasdaq, so just keep that in mind. Now let's go to the Russell. Russell's is the strongest pre-market. Now the Russell, look at this. Right now you guys can see my chart, right? So this is last month's high. This is last week's high, right? So you have a week's high here, a week high here, a weekly high here. We're above that. This is last month's high, And now look where the Russell is. The Russell is exploding off this level. It is relatively strong in compared to the other markets. Okay, so it's right now 192. Okay, let's look at the daily chart. 192. It's all the way up here right now, and it has resistance over here. So if we go to weeklies, it has a triple top here in weeks. So this could stop the Russell right in here. It's above this level right now, but it's above this level right now. And this is the test for the Russell. See, so they're all kind of stopping at it, key areas. The SPY is the only one breaking out and just like in supply, basically. So I mean, look at that move for the Russell, right? It actually initially went down and then it went up. Now it's getting some wick. So the Qs, key level 372, SPY 444, getting some wick now. See? So it's kind of just a wait and see here. Let's look at the 10-year yield. What is that doing, right? It's kind of hit this 4.0 level and it's kind of pulled back here. Okay. VIX. VIX come all the way down here. 14. And the dollar. All the way down to this support level here. So let's just look at the weeklies to put that in perspective. Look at that, all the way back down, almost to 100. It's all the way down to this key support level. So that's going to be good for commodities, good for equities, the dollar weakening. Good for gold, obviously, metals. So very interesting. I think the one to keep the eye on really is the Qs here. With this resistance, see, it keeps pulling back. Okay. I'm just going to go over to the good old. Go over to the profile. You can see single prints right here. Okay. Real skinny right here. Okay. Into supply. All right. 44.92 is the the level that you kind of want to keep your eye on. It's overnight halfback or the midpoint of this session right here. You want to keep your eye on that. So we're starting to come back into these single prints here. See, we built up some volume here. And can the market sustain this up here? Is this a bull trap, right? Because the numbers I feel were expected. I don't think anybody thought the numbers were going to come in hot. Okay. So what do we have here, right? What do we have here? We're above the major levels. We're above the major levels, right? So here's our most traded price of the month. Here's the most traded price of the week. Above those, I was stating that yesterday. This is bullish, right? So, you know, have a little bit of single prints yesterday here. Okay, but this is the time for the market to see if it can hold up here. right? Because we're at the top of the balance. We just made a move out of balance. However, if you start creeping back down to balance, right, you're going to go all the way back down, right? But you get a breakout, obviously. You can hold up here and it can be a breakout. But we got single prints here, right there. There's a toothpick. I wouldn't call that an elephant yet, but that's right now, that has to hold. Does it hold? I don't know. But we're in supply. Okay. So like I said, 44.92 is really key to look at. Also 44.90, 44.92, right around this area. That's where you want to look at to see what the market does. Because then that's a pullback, and if we hold it, it's probably it probably goes higher if it holds. If you start moving back in, now the other point obviously is a gap fill from yesterday, which is 44.78. If it does move back down to here, that's the next point where what does the market do? Then if you start going out, you take the overnight low out, you got single prints here, then I would think the buyers are on their heels, and you could traverse back to the bottom, right? So it's basically like come back all the way into here. Well, that puts the buyers on notice, right? So like I said, you got single prints. If you hold up here, right, that can make the move go higher. You can kind of like stay up there, right? You also can come down to the 44.92. The midpoint also is a launch point. The final launch point would be the gap fill here, and it also could cause a nice buy point. I just got a notification that Nasdaq went into supply. So I'll check on that in a second. But that's really what I'm looking at, right? You got a lot of froth. These single prints really tell the tale here because this is emotional buying. You got really thin volume. You're not going to have a lot of support if you go into these. Okay? It's really where I'm going to really see the base of these single prints, really tells the tale here. So I'm not interested in longs up here. I'm waiting for some type of pullback and to hold. Okay? Like I said, take out the overnight low and start moving back. That puts the buyers on their heels. All right? Let's look at the Nasdaq. Here's the Nasdaq, okay? You're at resistance right now. You're at that high in supply. Okay? In supply. We can make this bigger just to show you guys here, and make it bigger here. Okay. So, single prints too, right? In the Nasdaq, look at that thin volume. Okay, you're starting to build value out here. Look at the most traded price of the overnight. Okay, so if you're a short-minded, right, like you have a bearish bias to this move, you don't believe in it, right? This is what you want to see because the market opened here on the overnight. Okay, closed here, opened here, the overnight, right? Right here is the only short activity. This little bit of market right there. That's it. Everything else is long. Okay? Everything else is long. You can call this 100% net long. Right? So everybody's long basically from here. Some longs from here. Okay, from down here. So that's what I'm saying. If we really come back through, it's going to put these buyers on notice. Okay? But if you keep trading up here, okay? This is why I love volume. Okay? This is why I love market profile. I know I have single prints. I know I have the most traded price up here. So if the most people are trading up here, they're most likely trying to go long, okay? And we know everybody's long from here and from here. So this doesn't mean I think the market's gonna fall apart. It gives a good fade opportunity. It gives a good fade opportunity. Now the market's starting to get a little more weak, but still holding up here, right? If you really like want to see that fade, you want to see this market open, go up here, come back through here, and then you could clean these single prints up. And then the market could do what the market does. Either it pulls back and you launch, or it gets weak and we start to go back. And that's why I love looking at market profile and volume profile, just because this is not my bias. I'm looking at the structure of the market. Whoop, there's some larger selling. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but I'm hearing some large orders coming in on time of sales. So this is the key now. Is this a buy? Right? And like I said, just in the NASDAQ as well. Here's the midpoint. What did I miss about the CPI? Nicholas, what do you mean, what did you miss? You mean, is it because the market? Or is it you just don't know what happened with CPI? If the news about CPI was positive, everything everything beat numbers, like everything was softer than expected. So the market's moving higher. Is that what you mean? What you missed? Yeah, okay. Yeah, every top number beat. Look at you can see the watch list real quick. I'm going to show you the top stocks, what they're doing. Real quickly, Nicholas, if you haven't seen it, these are all the beats. So consensus zero point 0.3 came in at 0.2. Consensus 3.1 for the inflation headline number came in at 3. Core year over year was consensus was 5, came in at 4.8. Core month over month 0.3 came in at 0.2. So everything was a beat. But now you got Fred Kashkari going to speak at 9:45. But now the numbers are in. Okay? Now it's back to market. Now it's back to the market. Now, like we have the numbers. Now it's going to go back to structure. Okay? This is all about structure now. And how I'm looking at the market with market profile and volume profile. Okay? Market's still digesting the number, but, right now, what are the facts that we know? Like, this is why the volume profile, market profile just shows me facts, right, about the market. So, like, let's look at the NASDAQ, right? It's the most traded price of the week, the most traded price of the month. Big, big levels, right? Where's the market? Here. It's over these levels. That's bullish. It's over the 9 EMA daily. It's over the monthly VWAP. All right? We're gapping up. Here's yesterday's high. Here's where the NASDAQ is now. All the way up there. We're at the top of the balance. And that's the test. Right? Why are we there? Right? It's technical level. So fundamentals can move. But then what happens is technicals take over. All right? Everybody who's watching, I hope you're with me, because that's how you're supposed to look at the market, right? This single prints that were created was fundamental catalyst. We were here, the market moved up, right? Now let's look at the catalyst. This is called the scene of the crime, right here. What did we do? Market moved all the way up to here, right? Created single prints, emotional buying. What's the market doing now? Well, let's look at the volume profile. What's the volume profile telling us? The most price that is traded right now is here in the overnight. The most contracts that are being sold and bought are right here. You can't dispute that, right? So if the most transactions are taking place here, right? Just think, I want everybody to think about that. The most people are trading is here. Okay. Now, I would think most people are going to be long there. You know, people bought here, moved up here, and it's holding. That's bullish. Okay. Make a move, hold, the price is higher. That's bullish, right? But I talked about everyone's long from here, right? So if we do this, I want you guys to think about this. This is why the volume profile is important, okay? Most trades, the most people, this is indisputable, have initiated sells and buys here, F154. If the market opens and we do one of these, and then we do one of these, we come through, the most people have traded there, and we get some volume going, well, guess what's going to happen? This poor structure here is going to get cleaned right there. Right? And I determined that just from what I showed you. Now, if the market does this, and kind of holds, well, what does that tell you? The market should probably move higher. That's how that works. Let's go back to the ES, and then I'm going to wrap it up. And I talked about this before, but let's just go over it one more time. Same thing in the ES, no different, right? Single prints. Almost 100% net long. That's the only short activity in the overnight, okay? Now, the most traded price of the overnight is still down here. This will change, most likely to move up here, okay? But the same thing goes. What are we looking at? 44.92, 44.90. That's the resistance area that it broke out of. This is half back, or the midpoint of the overnight. Very important level there. See if that holds. Right? We're building out volume here. Okay. Like I said, if you don't believe this move and you are more bear-minded, you're going to want to see a move up, come through that volume, and then start to take out these single prints. And then probably test the top of that range. This is going to be a test point, okay? And this is going to be the test. If it holds, most likely that's the move to go higher. All right. Next test would be if we go back and pull back to the gap. If we fill that gap, that could be another test to go higher. Remember, this is still bullish. If you go in and you take out that overnight low, start working on the single prints from yesterday, then that then puts the buyers on its heels. Now again, I'm telling you, if this happens, then this happens. I'm not telling you what I believe or my bias. That's what's important, right? I'm not giving you a prediction. I'm just saying, if this happens, then that happens. All right? All right. So, hope everybody got some insight. If you did, subscribe. If you haven't already, set an alert. That'd be much appreciated. Please give me a thumbs up or a like if you like what I'm saying, right? Help me out. Obviously got my my social media here. And that's the plan, guys and girls. That's the plan. Look at that structure, right? Look at that structure. So we got our levels to look at. We have the levels to look at. And if we just review the Qs and the SPY levels really quickly, here's the Qs, 372. 372 is our level. Okay? Came up there, got resistance. Right now it's going to go test it again. That's the level. SPY, it's 4444. Okay? It already broke it, right? It already broke it, so it's up here now. Like I said, yesterday's, from this move, we have to see if this pulls back here. Okay? And that's the test. That's the test here. Can it hold this level? Go higher, right? That's it, guys. All right. Wish everybody good luck today. Remember what I said about those levels. And good luck trading. If you don't hear from me again, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning.